Good morning. On behalf of Dominion Energy Ohio and our Charitable Foundation, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to today's honorees, Community Impact Awards judges, guests, and community members. Welcome to our virtual 27th annual Community Impact Awards program. Dominion Energy is proud to present $110,000 to 11 Community Impact Award-winning organizations for 2021. Today we celebrate you and your agencies for your impact, your community commitment, and your ability to rise despite so many obstacles. 2 years into the pandemic, and our communities continue to experience hardship. Your ongoing commitment to provide safe, efficient, thoughtful, and thorough resources during this time is a true testament to your care and concern for our communities. We sincerely thank you for your stamina and adaptability in the face of these ongoing challenges. Before we celebrate the achievements of our award winners, I'd like to take a moment and thank our virtual host, the City Club of Cleveland. Thank you for helping us make this virtual experience a reality for the second year in a row. I also want to recognize and thank Great Lakes Publishing, a Community Impact Awards partner, whose Cleveland magazine provides business news and feature coverage for our area. Great Lakes Publishing support has been essential in promoting the Community Impact Awards and the great work you're doing in our communities. I invite Lute Harmon Jr., president of Great Lakes Publishing and publisher of the Cleveland magazine, to share some welcoming remarks. Lute?
Thank you, Jim. And a special thank you to our honorees whose continued dedication and persistence have combined to improve the lives of individuals and communities they serve. For 50 years, Cleveland Magazine has showcased the best our area has to offer with imaginative storytelling for Clevelanders of all kinds, living an inspired life here. An integral part of our mission is to showcase the best of our region's humanity, and there is no better way to do that than to highlight the amazing work your agencies do day in and day out to care for our most vulnerable community members. Dominion Energy is a longtime champion of these efforts and the perfect partner for this initiative. The Dominion Energy Foundation rewards organizations that are focused on addressing social, educational, and environmental issues. On behalf of Cleveland Magazine, the City Club of Cleveland, Dominion Energy, and our collective 1,500 members who call Ohio home, thank you for a job well done, and we wish you well on your continued success. As a special treat that has now become a tradition, our recipients will receive distinctive, colorful glass awards created locally by the Streets of Manhattan studio, which is actually based around the corner from Dominion, Ohio's historic headquarters in the St. Clair Superior neighborhood of Cleveland. Enjoy.
Thank you, Lute. This year's Community Impact Awards honorees provide essential, necessary, and critical services to address a wide range of challenges, barriers, and complex topics. Our judges pored over more than 50 proposals throughout several months and participated in healthy debates to identify 11 recipients. It's important that we see the judging panel as diverse as the communities we serve. For this reason, we bring together a tapestry of leaders and champions from communities across Ohio. Together, they lead our decision-making process to guarantee the needs of the community remain at the heart of this signature program. I'd sincerely like to thank our judges for providing expertise and time to this initiative. Thank you for your hard work and commitment in selecting a remarkable group of winners for more than 50 worthy submissions. These projects demonstrate the responsibility of our region's nonprofit and economic development agencies have in improving our communities. Now I invite Heather Clayton Terry, philanthropy consultant for Dominion Energy, to share our 2021 award winners.
Thank you, Jim. This year's winning projects range from preventing pandemic evictions in Central Northeast Ohio to teaching and providing a boxing boot camp for at-risk youth to improve their drive and determination, to delivering collaborative pop-up vaccination clinics in churches with the support of trusted community groups and improving health equity for urban residents. As you hear from our recipients, we encourage you to take in the amazing organizations, projects, and champions making impact a part of their signature efforts to build and revitalize communities. Enjoy.
Greetings. I'm Rita Horwitz, President and CEO of Better Health Partnership, a nonprofit regional health improvement collaborative located in Northeast Ohio that brings healthcare and other sectors together to solve complex community health challenges and to advance health equity so that all individuals have the opportunity to be healthy and thrive. When the global pandemic hit, several of our local federally qualified community health centers, who collectively serve nearly 78,000 patients a year, asked us to mobilize a multi-sector COVID collaborative to help them ensure the rapid and equitable deployment of COVID-19 testing and vaccinations, especially for the minority, lower income populations that they primarily serve. Knowing that racial, ethnic minorities and lower income individuals have been disproportionately impacted by COVID-19 hospitalizations and deaths, we couldn't say yes and step up fast enough to help.
Keeping higher risk individuals healthy, out of the hospital, socially connected, and employed served as the North Star for this COVID collaborative. When vaccines first became available, the rollout in Ohio inadvertently led to lower income individuals and people of color having inequitable access to vaccines. Better Health Partnership advocated at the state level for greater vaccine supply for the community health centers and used neighborhood level data to identify hotspots for much needed vaccine distribution. Leveraging partnerships with the faith-based community and gift card incentives from Medicaid managed care and Philanthropy, community health centers held over 200 pop-up events in local churches and other locations, administering over 33,000 vaccines. Today, more than 2 out of every 5 vaccinations provided by community health centers, including Asian Services in Action, Care Alliance Health Center, The Centers, Neighborhood Family Practice, Neon, and Signature Health, are given to Blacks, Hispanics and Latinos, or Asians. We are so proud to have played a role in helping hundreds of healthcare heroes from our community health centers and other sectors coordinate strategies that help protect people, stabilize our economy, and mitigate the negative impacts of COVID-19.
On behalf of Better Health Partnership, its board of directors, and our federally qualified health center partners, we thank Dominion Energy and its Charitable Foundation for recognizing this life-saving work and for honoring us with this generous Community Impact Award. Thank you.
I'm Hattie Kotz. I'm the Director of Marketing and Development at the Children's Museum of Cleveland. It's our mission to serve families with young children ages birth through 8 here in Northeast Ohio to support their educational development. Back in 2020, when a lot of the national and worldwide conversations were beginning around the topics of racial equity, I think a lot of businesses and organizations were taking that time to reflect on what our role looks like in that space and how we can encourage positive growth and change in our local communities and beyond. We reached out to Cleveland State University's Diversity Institute with this idea of creating a toolkit that could contain a lot of very approachable resources for families with really young children, ages 0 through 8, which is our service area, and to really break down a lot of the components of these conversations down to an age-appropriate and developmentally appropriate level so that families can feel capable of having these conversations in small doses at home during those developmentally important years for their children without feeling overwhelmed or inundated by too much content or not knowing what to say or not knowing how to bring it down to the child's level.
And oftentimes parents aren't included in these conversations around, preparing folks to talk or to talk about issues of equity with kids. And so the toolkit came about as an opportunity to really operationalize scholarship and thinking about how we can translate all that scholarship into a practical tool that can serve families immediately. Folks have also been able to attend parent workshops at the museum where we kind of provided an orientation to the toolkit, had an opportunity for folks to ask questions, try some of the strategies that are utilized and talked about in the toolkit, and really just do our best to support families and caregivers in supporting their own children and their anti-racist identity development.
So the toolkit is divided up by age range. So it goes 0 to 2 and onward. For every age range, we give a developmental narrative that really gives the parent, educator, caregiver a context as to what the child can understand at that age level. And it can really frame in their mind how to begin that conversation. And we have distributed over 700 of those toolkits to families free of charge across the city of Cleveland. So while this program was designed as a reaction to what was happening around us in our community, it truly has become a foundational program here at the Children's Museum of Cleveland and has allowed us to connect with a lot of the families that we serve on a whole new level. It has become very meaningful work for us. And we are very grateful to the Dominion Community Impact Awards for recognizing this work and supporting this work. Their ongoing support is truly vital to keeping programs like this going and growing. And we are so grateful to have your support and recognition for this program.
CIM is here to prepare and empower the next generation of classical musicians in order for them to fulfill whatever dreams they may have.
The Musical Pathway Fellowship is a cohort of Black and Latinx students, 5th grade to 12th grade, who are passionate about classical music, and it is supported by our generous foundation so that there is no financial responsibility on behalf of the student. The students that come to us are just in love with classical music. They are determined and driven. They want to grow and improve. They're eager for all the experiences that they can receive here at CIM.
Every time you develop the talent of a person, you are affecting the entire community because you are having a well-prepared person who is going to be integrated and in the future going to be contributing towards that community. So if I can imagine of developing the talents of tens, dozens, even hundreds of people from these communities, the impact will be felt for perhaps even generations.
Many of our fellows have gone on to pursue careers in music and are studying at some of the highest level conservatories in the nation.
Hi, my name is Kara Sang and I'm the Vice President of Planning at MidTown Cleveland. MidTown Cleveland is a community development nonprofit serving the Midtown, Hoff, and Asiatown neighborhoods, leading equitable development strategies in the neighborhood by resolving historic inequities to realize a future place where all people can thrive. We are working together towards a place for belonging, connection, and the joyful celebration of culture, where prosperity is reinvested into the communities, where equity and inclusion are fundamental expectations, and where innovation helps families realize long-promised dreams. Cleveland Wall's International Mural Program was a project to create vibrant neighborhood spaces, to celebrate the diverse cultures in our neighborhood, and to elevate local artists on an international platform. In partnership with Land Studio and Worldwide Walls, Midtown Cleveland added 19 murals to the neighborhoods over the course of 1 week in August of 2021. This diverse group of artists, both local and national, brought creative energy, color, and representation of Black and brown faces to the neighborhood, including one of the first visual representations of Black inventor Garrett Morgan, and some of the largest Native American imagery in Cleveland's public realm. This week included over 15 events in the neighborhood partnering with local arts nonprofits and included a film festival that celebrated the history of graffiti arts and Black music in the neighborhood. The impact of Cleveland Walls will be felt for years to come and is already activating renewed interest and energy in the neighborhood. I'm right here in front of this mural at the Rainey Institute, one of our location partners for the Cleveland Walls International Mural Program. This mural is by local artist Darius Stewart, who created this in honor of the Rainey Institute right here. Thank you to Dominion Energy for honoring Cleveland Walls with this Community Impact Award.
I'm Natalie Leake. I am the president and CEO of Providence House, Ohio's first licensed crisis nursery. We provide emergency shelter and care to children 24 hours a day who are newborn through 12 years old, whose families are experiencing crisis situations which may place their children at risk of abuse or neglect. While children stay with us, we work closely with their parents and guardians to move the family through crisis with community partners so that children can safely return home and remain with their families. Last year, 100% of our children successfully reunited with their families following services from Providence House. Over the past few years, the need for our services has dramatically grown to the point where we're actually turning away over 400 children a year that we're unable to serve, most of these children who live on the east side of Cleveland. And so we've decided that we need to grow to meet the need. Providence House has begun the expansion of our services to a new east side campus in the Buckeye Shaker neighborhood so that we can serve almost 250 additional children a year. Combined with our west side campus, that means over 600 children a year will find safety at Providence House. This expansion will not only benefit the 600 children, it will also benefit over 1,000 families that we'll be supporting through this site and our west side combined. The new Providence House East Side campus is an anchor project and a transformation initiative for the Buckeye Shaker community. This $15 million community redevelopment project will span an entire city block from East 118 to East 119 on Buckeye Road. Our project includes a new administrative headquarters, a new family resiliency center, and a 24-bed crisis nursery for children living in or around the Buckeye Shaker community. That facility will be partnered with a new facility that will be constructed on site as a community hub, where we will host partner social service agencies on our campus to immediately connect families to necessary services so that they can more rapidly reach the level of stability they need for their children to safely return home to them. A program like Providence House is essential in not only keeping kids safe, but keeping families together and thriving as we rebuild our neighborhoods and bring hope to our community. Providence House is so proud of the fact that Dominion Energy has been a longtime partner of our organization, and we are so honored that we were chosen for this Impact Award. We're ever thankful for the Dominion Energy Charitable Foundation's support, and because of that support, we're this much closer to realizing our dream of opening an Eastside campus for Providence House in the spring of 2023. We are so thankful, and we hope that you'll come by and visit our new house on the east side of Cleveland.
Thank you very much to Dominion for their recognition of the Akron Zoo and its Backpack Adventure program with the Community Impact Award. I'm humbled and excited to accept that award on behalf of our staff and on behalf of all the animals who call the Akron Zoo home and that we love so deeply. Backpack Adventure is a way that the Akron Zoo and many of our community partners were able to give back to the students of Akron Public Schools, because this community is important to us. It originated as a partnership with Akron Public Schools to distribute backpacks and school supplies to elementary students whose families are in need. The purpose was always to distribute school supplies, as well as encourage families who might not otherwise enjoy a day at the Akron Zoo to come and to really be exposed to the informal science learning center that the Akron Zoo was built to be. A visit to the zoo is so much more than simply a field trip somewhere. It's your ability to connect with wildlife, to experience lifelong learning, and then to make a choice to move towards conservation action. Backpack Adventure has only been possible with the long-standing support of many organizations, but I want to specifically thank Dominion Energy Charitable Foundation for their long-standing sponsorship. Knowing that we all hope that we're at the tail end of this COVID-19 pandemic right now, but not the tail end of needing to pivot based on everything else that is happening across our society, we look forward to continue being an active partner both with Dominion and with Akron Public Schools, and in fact as many community organizations as we can be of assistance to in order to create a better world for all of our students. Thank you.
Thank you for hosting this year's virtual award program for Dominion Energy's Community Impact Awards. Community Legal Aid is, of course, thrilled to be honored as a Community Impact Awardee from Dominion Energy. We exist to ensure that all individuals, including those who are impoverished, have the opportunity to control, improve, and enrich their lives and the communities around them. We do this the best way we know how, by being lawyers. Our advocates use the law to protect people's rights, stabilize their lives, ensure they are treated fairly, and allow them the opportunity to thrive. Since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, our communities have been grappling with the health and safety risks associated with eviction. When businesses closed in March of 2020, many people in our community were left without income. A backlogged unemployment system, coupled with an already fragile social safety net that left almost all low-income Americans without enough money in their accounts to cover a month's worth of unexpected expenses, created a perfect storm, leaving thousands in our community unable to pay their rent. Federal moratoriums and rental assistance relief packages were a critical and highly successful strategy in keeping people housed. And in collaboration with community partners, our advocates worked with landlords, tenants, and our local courts to make sure that people's homes were protected. In total, since March of 2020, our advocates have saved over 300 homes in Summit County from eviction, a vast majority of which were households of color, which have been hit especially hard by the pandemic. Eviction prevention work isn't new for us. Since 2016, Akron has had the unwanted title of eviction capital of the state of Ohio. With the highest eviction rate in the state and ranking in the top 30 cities nationally, evictions have plagued our community since long before COVID-19. But the way in which our community came together to respond during the pandemic brought a whole new level of service and protection to the most vulnerable among us. And we at Legal Aid are proud to have been a leader in that work. The impact of legal aid is transformative in people's lives. Having a lawyer can be the difference between having a home and becoming homeless. It can be the difference between getting the public benefits you've earned through military service or work and being lost in a system of red tape. It can be the difference between financial freedom and being buried beneath a mountain of debt you have no way of ever paying. And in our most dire cases of domestic violence, it can literally be the difference between life and death. On behalf of all of us at Community Legal Aid, I want to thank Dominion Energy and those who make the Community Impact Award possible. Our work is not possible without the support and generosity of partners like you, and for that, we thank you.
Hello there, my name is Tom Phillips. I am the Executive Director here at StarkFresh. We are a nonprofit based in Canton, Ohio, and serving all of Stark County. Our mission is tackling causes of hunger, and we do this by creating realistic pathways out of poverty. All of our programming is designed to reduce or remove a barrier for someone to be able to take a step forward. Lots of little steps all together, combined with efforts from other agencies, are a proven strong way for people to be able to take those additional steps forward that they need to be able to get out of the situation they're in. Everything we do here has a food spin, and the reason I'm speaking to you today is because of our neighborhood grocery store that we opened up in 2020. The idea was always to look back to the past and say, what are these neighborhoods missing that have no access to food? These areas of a food apartheid where people can't walk or bike or easily get to a grocery store. And so we said, we can put in these neighborhood style grocery stores that will serve the immediate needs of the community. And that's exactly what our project was. So we set up a pilot store right here in our Food Justice campus. We're 2.5 blocks from the main bus terminal in a food apartheid in downtown Canton. And we've been serving the immediate needs of the community. So people come in and shop 1 or 2 times a week instead of bulk buying and getting stuff they need for 2 or 3 weeks. And we're serving the people who live and work right here. As you can see, it's a pretty small store. It's kind of a bodega size, less than 1,000 square feet. We've got over 2,000 items crammed into this tiny little space. And you can get anything you need for a regular meal, or just come grab a snack, whatever your needs are for the day. Since opening, we've served about 16,000 people, served over 300 pounds of food, and a little over 750,000 servings of food. So thank you again for choosing us for your 2021 Community Impact Award. We are very humbled. Thank you.
In the aftermath of the murder of George Floyd, Canton, Ohio, Stark County, like many cities across the country, witnessed community unrest. For Stark County, this sparked a conversation between the United Way of Greater Stark County and the YWCA of Canton that grew like wildfire in days. In June 2020, the Dismantling Racism Coalition of Stark County was formed in response to this turmoil with the goal of raising awareness of systemic racism in our communities. Since the coalition's formation, our message has reached thousands of community members through various initiatives and partnered with dozens of organizations to continue deepening the awareness about all levels of racism and how it impacts us locally.
The Unity Challenge was modeled after the popular 21-day Racial Equity Challenge originally created by Eddie C. Moore and Debbie Irvin. Our main goal was to unify the community regarding issues of race and discrimination. Each organization was responsible for modifying the topical content so that it was more representative of data and issues faced in our specific community. Over 2,200 people and organizations have interacted with the content. 50 have publicly endorsed the challenge, and 166 signed the pledge to continue to work toward racial and social justice in our community.
Following the Unity Challenge, the coalition continued the work of dismantling racism in Stark County through facilitated community discussions and trainings, including topics like how racism impacts education, privilege, and allyship. Future case study community dialogues will include housing, wealth disparities, and faith-based perspectives to address our goal of dismantling racism. We have designed Black History Month campaigns each year under the theme, Why Didn't I Learn This in School?, which shared little known facts in African American history. And we are currently serving as a cohort site under the National Divided Communities Project, sponsored by the Ohio State University Moritz College of Law. The Divided Communities Project is designed to synthesize insights for collaborative approaches to community division, provide counsel to local leaders, and help these leaders translate these principles into local practices.
From the many and diverse organizations represented in our coalition to the variety of participants, local, statewide, and national, our ability to meaningfully connect social justice to each system, health, education, mental health, housing, and criminal justice was not only innovative, but it also contributed to many of our next steps and creative collaborations to dismantle systemic racism in our community. So, what are our next steps? Well, we'll just name a few. The development of a playbook to assist agencies in developing an equity-oriented lens. Partnering with local news media outlets to share an oral history of Indigenous and people of color in Stark County, known as Stark Realities. Continuing to facilitate dismantling racism conversations with businesses and organizations, and the creation of an asset map to better understand community needs and uncover solutions. On behalf of the Dismantling Racism Coalition of Stark County, thank you for joining us on our journey as we unite to not only take a deeper look at racism and biases, but to dismantle racism, because this has to end. Thank you.
My name is Aaron McLaurin.
And I'm Coach Veronica McLaurin.
We're from Lima, Ohio, and we run a boxing boot camp program called Soldiers of Honor. We work with at-risk kids and a number of other people. Veronica, can you share the mission statement?
Yeah, our mission statement is to reach a broad age group of discouraged or endangered people, at-risk children from broken homes. That's our priority among those that, and they're the ones that experience the greatest transformation through the program.
The program is designed to help others develop a different outlook on life through physical fitness and teachable moments. And so we get a wide variety of different kids that come down here. And the ultimate goal is to build them up and develop them and teach them a skill so they're learning something. And then at the same time, they're also being able to take something away to where they can use outside of boxing.
It's just the kids seem to communicate very well here with each other. They develop the social skills that they don't have otherwise. I don't know if it's something they're missing at home or school, but once they come down to the gym, they just become a team and they work together and they laugh together and they play together. And it really just forms like a community.
We end up being able to open up another window of conversation, being able to build them up, being able to encourage them, being able to allow the kids to do something great. You know, we teach them boxing, they end up leaving away, feeling better, looking better, being able to do something that they wasn't able to do beforehand. And we help them to understand what growth looked like. And so we've had nothing but success. And our main goal is to try to address as many teachable moments as possible. And we see tons of kids just change, all kinds of conversations. You know, we have a really good thing down here.
We're excited. We're excited to be here in Lima and to serve kids in this community. We're going to continue to be here. We want to thank the Dominion Energy Charitable Foundation for giving to this program and taking a chance on us. We believe what we do with the kids is very transformational to their lives, to the kids, and we just want to say thank you, a heartfelt thank you.
Absolutely. We really want to say thank you. We couldn't do it without organizations like you supporting us. It takes a community to raise a community, and this right here is community. This is huge. This is big. It allows us to reach the kids. It allows us to do the things that we know that the kids need. Kids love it, and we really appreciate you guys coming down. So we say thank you.
Thank you for your support.
The mission of the Buckeye Hills Foundation is to enhance and support community and economic development in rural Appalachian Ohio. With support from Ohio's local development districts, the Foundation for Appalachian Ohio and Ohio Southeast Economic Development, and the Ohio University Voinovich School, we teamed up with Reed Consulting Group to launch connectingappalachia.org. And that website serves as an online hub and a resource for digital access in Appalachian Ohio. In May 2021, connectingappalachia.org's Common Sense Solutions for Bridging the Digital Divide were presented as part of the 9th Annual Appalachian Ohio State of the Region Conference. And those Common Sense Solutions outlined 3 guiding principles for broadband expansion: invest in robust broadband infrastructure, encourage competition to spur innovation and protect consumers, and require accountability and transparency. We've shared those with state legislators, with state leaders, with federal legislators, local governments across Appalachian Ohio. And that's really led to provisions being added to the Ohio Broadband Expansion Grant Program.
Being able to reveal the digital desert using the data from Innovate Ohio was a real comfort for a lot of people in the region because we were able to actually quantify it and illustrate it. So it really helped focus on the areas of need. So the impact is really tremendous. There's a lot of literature and research that supports the impact of broadband on economic development, education, and tourism. So we expect pretty big lifts in a lot of these areas along those lines.
Connecting Appalachia is shaping the conversation around broadband expansion in Appalachian Ohio and across the country. And our project partners have helped steer the conversation regarding a number of critical pieces of legislation and funding opportunities that will have a significant impact on broadband expansion in the region for years to come.
All, that concludes our 27th annual and virtual Community Impact Awards program. Congratulations and thanks again to the award-winning organizations, their leaders, board of directors, staff members, and volunteers. On behalf of Dominion Energy, thank you for joining us. And please stay safe and be